Greetings Peanutians and welcome to the Dreamer event breakdown video. Please take note as usual that there may or may not be slight differences in the information in my video when compared to the patch notes, as the patch notes are subject to change at any time, so be sure to always look down at the pinned comment for any noted changes. I will also begin leaving the changes in the description as well from now on. Furthermore, I'll be going over each part as they're listed in the patch notes themselves, so if you're looking for a specific part of information, please refer to the description for their respective timestamps for easier access. With that being said, let's get right to it. Actually, before that, please for the love of God, get ready for me to butcher Lachelein or whatever its actual pronunciation is, as I will be not consistent in how I say it, so laugh all you want. So with that being said, the first part of this event is Dreaming Lachelein. This first part of the event is essentially just the base of the event, which is the event UI where it lets you keep track of your currency and generally allowing you to access the other parts of the event, like it is with all the other events. The next part of the event is the Midnight Party. Midnight Party is your daily and weeklies for this event, which also includes the weekly boss kill coin shop as well. And for this event, the dailies and weeklies are called the Daily Party and the Weekly Party. The dailies are simple. They simply require you to log in and click on the check-in button on the event UI. Doing so will give you 500 Reverie Fragments, which are your daily coins. And like with the previous events, this daily check-in is once per day per account. And if you miss any days, you can make up with it with the daily pass system to make up a single day you missed, for a total of 3,000 maple points. As for the weeklies, this requires you to kill 2,000 mobs near your level range and then manually click on the check-in button. The kills carry over to the next day if you do not kill the 2,000 on the first day, and take note that this specific weekly resets alongside the in-game weekly reset, so that is from the Wednesday to Thursday in-game transition. The weeklies are your sources of shimmering and secret points. This will be covered later. And like with the dailies, if you miss any of the weeks, you can simply make them up with the weekly pass system, which are also 3,000 points per week. Although you really shouldn't need this, as your daily kills from your Arcane River and Grandis dailies will cover that completely. But just be sure to click on the check-in button when you're done for each week. The next part of the event is Dream Messenger. Dream Messenger is where we get to utilize the shimmering and secret points that you obtain from your weekly party tasks. To put it simply, shimmering and secret points are used to level up the Dreaming Messenger's event skill, and unlike the previous events, this one has a secondary skill leveling portion to it, and this one uses secret points, while the core of this event skill utilizes the shimmering points. And please also take note of the following restrictions for the secret portion of the skill, and that being the fact that the monster collection function does not work in the Burning Worlds, and that the Arcane River and the Sacred Mission bonuses can only be applied once per day per world for both symbols and EXP. So if you play on 2 servers, you can get the benefits twice, assuming you allocate the points for both servers. The next part is the Lachelein Banquet. Lachelein Banquet is essentially the first of this event's training skills, and as stated earlier in the video, this, unlike previous events, is not how you daily coin cap, as the daily cap is a merely single manual check-in button in the event UI. Though, like with the previous events, it has similar restrictions which I will leave on the screen right now. And as for the specific unique traits for this training skill, it activates a total of 30 times per day per character. And the next one's called the Lachelein Banquet Tea Party. And this part of the event is literally just a second training skill that comes right after the first one when it expires. It also has the same restrictions and the same amount of activations as the earlier mentioned skill. The next part of the event is the Midnight Dreamcatcher Season 1. Season 1 of the Midnight Dreamcatcher Party of the Dreamer event can be accessed by going to the Star tab or via Mr. Flopsy in the event map. This part of the event is like a mini dungeon where you get 15 minutes to kill 1,000 mobs. These mobs give you a nice chunk of XP that cap out at level 260, so this will be typically better for lower level characters to get the most out of it. Please also take note that once you kill 200 mobs in this map, a powerful Summon Doll mini-boss will spawn, and you will have a total of 20 seconds to kill it before it despawns. If you manage to kill it before it despawns, it will give you a nice bonus EXP and activate an AoE type of skill that kills mobs near you. Also, before going in, remember that all of your buffs will be removed, and that includes any EXP multipliers that come from buffs or coupons, as well as any auxiliary skills that you got from somewhere else. Although, based on the wording, you can still repop skills like Decent Holy Symbol while you're inside, but you will be unable to use items that are not healing items. And please also take note that the entry limits are only once per day and a total of 3 times per week per world. In addition to that fact, you cannot kill half of the mobs on one character and move over to another character to finish the last of the mobs in an attempt to double it on the EXP. We can't do that apparently. And like with Season 1, the method to enter this is the same, as is its entry limits, as well as use item rules and buff removal are the same as the previous. The only actual difference is that the mini-boss that spawns at the 200 kill count is a different mob, but the perks of killing it before it despawns is exactly the same. The next part of this event is the Gallina's Tomato Festival, and yes, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Gallina's Tomato Festival is the Punch King portion of this event. And like with the previous Punch Kings, you get a certain amount of time to prepare before entering the fight, as well as the fact that the max points are 1,150 and your EXP reward is based on how high your score is. Although some new rules for this Punch King are that you are unable to change your inner ability and your Hexa skill common nodes inside this map. Another unique thing about this Punch King is that there's a participation reward for this, that being 2 different permanent tomato mounts that are given at the 1 time and the 5 times participation amounts. And as for Monster Arcade, this portion of the video is going to merely highlight some of the basic and common information for all of the minigames, so feel free to skip to the specific minigames if that is what you're looking for. And once again, remember, please refer to the timestamps if you need those. And to keep it simple, I'd like to list some of the key details. The first of which is that the minigames are your sources of dance fragments, of which you can get 5 to 100 daily per world, and you can get these dance fragments from either of the 2 minigames that are active at the same time per season. The second being that each minigame has their own set of unique cumulative points challenges, each of which will give you a single piece of the Forest Wizard outfit. This is also available once per account. And all of those rewards must be claimed before August 27th or else they will be removed. And all of the minigames are broken into seasons, Season 1 being Thinking of You and 1 card, Season 2 being Supernatural Yut and Seesaw, and Season 3 to be announced. The first minigame is called 1 card. 1 card is a 4-player minigame, of which you will all start with 7 cards and automatically lose if you end up with 17 or more. Your goal is to end up with no cards in your hand, so this is essentially a game of Uno. This minigame can also be played in a party of 2 to 4 if you enter as a party, but please take note that you do not get any rewards for playing in this mode, but you do get your points recorded towards the cumulative points mission for the Wizard Outfit Selection box, and to get the box, you will need a total of 5,000 points for this minigame. The next minigame for Season 1 is the Thinking of You minigame, and this is essentially a picture-based Dance Dance Revolution game, and this minigame is able to reward you with 100 dance fragments maximum per minigame, of which a single fragment is given per 100 points that you obtain. And the cumulative points challenge for this minigame requires you to get 1 million points, of which the reward is the Forest Wizard Gloves coupon. Also, if you hit the daily cap for the dance fragments, you are still able to play the minigame in an effort to reach the cumulative points mission. The first minigame for Season 2 is Supernatural Yut. This minigame requires you to get all 4 of your pieces to the end goal before your opponent does. And as for this minigame's cumulative points challenge, this requires you to get 5,000 points, of which you will be rewarded with a Forest Wizard Hood coupon. And this minigame also allows you to play in a party of 2 in order to play against your friends. But take note that you will not get any dream fragments for playing in a party, but you will still get your cumulative points recorded towards the challenge. And as for the last minigame for Season 2, it is called Seesaw, and unlike the previous minigames, the Seesaw minigame is a solo minigame. This one is essentially a quick time event that requires you to land in the hitbox a total of 40 times in order to win 300 dream fragments, and according to the point chart, you can apparently tie with yourself in a solo mini game against yourself. Seriously, how the heck do you tie with yourself? I don't know, but essentially that's what it says. And reaching a total of 1,000 total jumps will get you the Forest Wizard Shoes coupon. And like with the previous minigames, you can still play the minigame if you hit the dance fragments cap in an effort to continue towards the cumulative point challenge. And moving on to other events that are part of the Dreamer patch but not directly part of Dreamer is Gold Richie's Treasure Hunt. This part of the event will require you to hunt mobs near your level, and doing so will cause VIP boosters to drop. And using these VIP boosters will cause special mobs to be summoned for 100 seconds, and killing them will give you bonus EXP. These boosters can also be used a total of 10 times per day per character. The next part of the Gold Richie's event is the Gold Richie's Safe. The Gold Richie's Safe event is pretty much the same as the first one that was introduced to GMS, and accepting the starting mission will cause mobs near your level to start dropping safe tickets, of which you can use them towards the 2 safes, the Gold Safe and the Diamond Safe. And each safe has a 15 code input limit per round. And like with the previous Gold Richie's Save event, whoever inputs the lowest number and is not repeated by anyone else in the world will be the winner. And this version actually has a total participation reward, so even if you don't win, you still get something. And as for the event shops of this event, there's nothing really to highlight for the event shops. I'm only including it blankly in this part of the video to include my usual information timestamp in the corner of this video, simply for the sake of displaying the extended time frame that the event shops have compared to the other content of the respective events. Hey everyone, Peanut here again, and once again, please be sure to always check the pinned comment for any changes that may have occurred. And I'll also be starting to include the changes in the description to avoid cluttering the comments and allowing for the pinned comment function to be used for other reasons in the future. And if there is anything I've missed, please be sure to let me know in the comments so I can add them to the list. And with that being said, thanks for watching and the continued support, and I hope to see you all in the later videos. Bye!